All right, test video number 6. We're getting near the end of this bit. I do want to make a couple little tweaks here in the old Clarelux testing facilities. I want to knock this down to 40. I was doing a little bit of testing with this earlier. Just get some bugs around the lights, see how that looks. And the other thing I wanted to do was not the light level, the glow size. What is the glow size at right now? Current size is 3. I think that one I want to leave alone. So let's wait a few hours here and see how this looks out in the world. As usual, for whatever reason, these two lights and this one, I think it's all bridge lights, are more orange than the others. If you see this one, not so much. You see we got some bugs flying around there now. That's kind of cool. Alright, so what have we done since the last time? Well, I disabled the fog. It just wasn't enough for me. I just wasn't excited enough for it. I mean, it looked kind of cool here in Riverwood, but that was about it. And we still have the teal version of Realistic Water 2. I'm still undecided on that, which one I want to stay with. Fortunately, it's fairly easy to swap it out. I just reinstall it, a couple of mouse clicks, and we're done. And I did some testing with the Iman grass size at 45, and now it is set to 40. So we're not going to be able to see much right now because it's nighttime. But I think we'll head down the road here, just take a look at things. Still got the full moon and the aurora, so it's kind of light out here. In my testing earlier, I was checking the nighttime darkness, and I was tempted to set it a little bit darker, but I do know when it's raining, it's quite dark. And if I set the darkness, if I make the night a little bit darker, according to how it is right now, because this is too light in my opinion, but we've got an aurora and a 3/4 moon. So any time when there's clouds or overcast or rain, it's going to be, if I make this darker, that's going to be just too dark. So for now, I think I'm going to leave the night darkness where it is. Also, in my earlier testing, I was running around all over Falkreath, and I even went down to Riften. Not in the city, but I guess the Rift. And I ran around there. FPS is still doing pretty well. I mean, usually the same old thing. It might occasionally dip down to 57 and then pop back up to 60. So it's been pretty solid. And I was running all through, in and out the trees there. I mean, in the thickest of the thick down there in Riften, or the Rift. I'm still wondering about the glow from the Nirnroot. Like, you can see that one right there. It's a bit big. And I'm wondering if that's bloom or what. You can almost see a very clear line, like a dome. I'm kind of wondering if I should maybe think about dialing that back. See all those lights along the city? Those are Clarelux adds those. That's a really nice addition. It makes it look a lot nicer. These lights look pretty good. I think the warmth value is pretty good on these. I'm kind of wondering if maybe I should reduce the size. I'd like it to be a little bit darker. Stuff stands out a little bit more. I should have grabbed my spells while I was over there in Riverwood. always forgetting to do that. But I have been looking at these videos once they're online, and I have noticed that they are a little bit darker. For example, that one, I think it was in the second video, and we were in the Eleanor house, not the one here, the one over in Riverwood. Or maybe it was here. I don't know. But I said, oh, look at that. You can see right through the fire. You can see the back of the fireplace. But online, you can't see it. Video quality is not quite as good, and things are a little bit darker. Well, you know what? It's light enough out here. I can see the grass pretty well, so... Look at all the green fields. Great. It really is green. Trust me. So the only other two mods I'm considering right now, I talked about it before, Obscure's College of Winterhold. Even if I install that now, I'm not going to go and look at it until my Let's Play is going and I'm at that point where I want to go start that quest line. And the only other one is JK's Skyrim. Now JK's got, well, for Oldrim, it was, you had that one, but you could also install the individual, it was modular, you could install the individual city overhauls. But with Special Edition, that's not the case. The only individual ones are Whiterun and Riverwood. And I'm considering Riverwood. I may get that one too. I don't know. I may. He says it should be compatible with Immersive Citizens. We still got some empty patches in here, but grass is definitely thicker. But we need to test it in some forested areas. So I think what I'm going to do right now is beat feet back to Riverwood, get my spells. We'll wait till morning. We'll run around in Falkreath a little bit. And then maybe run back over here. And see how this looks in the daytime. Well, it's morning again. I'm holding it 54, 52 FPS. That's not cool. The water looks more fantasy blue than teal right now. Odd. But anyway, let's go see what's happening. We're back to, well, 56, 59, 60. Let's go run around a little bit and see what our FPS is doing. Alright, if it's not, you know, we're set at 40 now on the Iron grass size. Wow, that was a weird kill cam that didn't happen. But you guys got him right in the mug. Come on over here where we can see you. Ah. Let's stick in the forest and see what the FPS is doing. It's been hovering around 58, 59 right now. Come on. That's an awfully long kill cam for just a damn wolf. $55. Back to 60. Wow, 3 of them. One of them. And there's another one. Headshots all around. There's a lot of damn wolves. You see how that one was trying to run through that tree and couldn't? I have to wonder if the mod author adjusted the nav mesh around that tree. Because they shouldn't be doing that. Alright, 55. There's a little bit of twitching. 56. I mean, it goes back to 60 and then it'll twitch a little bit and drop down again. 54. Oof. Yeah, definitely taking some hits now. Really stuttering. 49. 51, 49, 48. Yeah, this is definitely stressing it a little. 53. Significant difference from my last test. Maybe I'll just knock it back up to 45. Seemed to be a pretty big difference.
Vacation is where the head is. That is what Dervenin told us about our master. He's cozy in his solitude.
Why am I getting that at level 1? There is another grass texture setting in the INI files. I don't know if that one would have an impact or not. And it's, let me see, it's maximum grass types per texture, I think is what it is. But this is all the same, basically the same grass texture. I don't know if that would help or not. It's something I'll look into. But yeah, we're hovering in the mid 50s for the most part here, and sometimes it's twitching below that. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more staggered than before. I mean, I can live with it, but I'd rather it be a little bit smoother. But I want to see Whiterun now in the daytime. I'm wondering if there's that much of a difference from 45 to 40 when I looked at it in my last test. I might as well run through this area too. Yeah, occasionally it's still dropping down to 54. You know, I always thought ENBs were the biggest strain. Oh, man. Don't tell me we're going to have the valley blanketed in fog. Nope. Darn. You know how I love the fog. Yeah, but I always thought ENBs were the biggest FPS burden. And it is a big burden, but it seems to me that grass is more so. Oh, robbed. Right Right in the ass. Oh, not quite. Oh, we got a little bit of fog. Nice sunrise. Yeah, no FPS issues out here. But there's no trees out here. See, I wish these are those rock cliffs. I wish these were green as well. Oh, there's a little bit of a twitch. Hi, boys. I'm just trying to determine if there's much of a difference between 40 and 45 because I was definitely taking more of an FPS hit running through Falkreath at 40 than I did in my test at 45. Let's get a picture of that. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. Got him in the tail. It's hard to tell right now if there's that big a difference in the amount of grass. Gonna have to head down to Riften in a minute here as well. Well, I actually was considering when I was doing that last test at 45, I was pretty pleased with how things were going FPS wise, and I was thinking, man, if it's still this good at 45, I might even consider lowering that number to 35. But now, I'm not so sure about that. Well, I'd like to, man, I'd like to keep increasing that number to get rid of the rest of these empty patches and just have, you see there's some empty patches right here. I'd really like to blanket this area. There's a little drop there. Temporary. But I don't know. Right now, I mean, if I wanted to, I could fine tune it. I don't have to like choose between 40 and 45. I could try 41, 42. There's another little spike. You know, maybe I'll try 44. And I could look at some other things. Maybe there's some other things I could do to improve performance a little bit. Yeah, for the most part, I'm a steady 60 FPS out here. Alright, let's get the Rift in and see how, or the Rift, see how things look there. Alright, Rift again. Back up on the ridge. I don't really need to be checking this up here, but I was perched over on those rocks hoping to have a nice colorful sunrise. Didn't quite get that. But that's okay. Because when you do have them, you really appreciate them. Besides, we got some nice mist and fog all around. I've been tweaking the settings a little bit. The brightness, the contrast. I think I even lowered the saturation a little. So let's get across the lake here. Oh, here comes the rain. I knew it. Well, as long as it's not a downpour, I'm going to keep recording because I don't think that's going to have much of an effect on the FPS. Well, I don't know, it might. Oh, what to do with the water? Tough choice. Alright, come on. There goes one. Right in the ass, right in the ass. Told you. Yep, getting some stuttering in here too. Was there another one? I guess not. Okay. 50, 52, 51. Oh, yeah. Well, I was coming through here before, and occasionally I would get 57, 56. But now I'm 60 right at the moment, but I'm going to be cutting in and out of these trees, and 55, 58, 60, 58. $54. Yeah, it's significantly more stutter here than what I had before. Spinebreaker. I like that, Spinebreaker. You know, the next weapon I craft, I'm going to call it the Spinebreaker. Well, it would have to be a Warhammer, wouldn't it? Don't you think? With a name like Spinebreaker? I mean, can you have a sword called Spinebreaker? Swords are more for piercing and cutting, not for breaking things. I guess you could have a battle axe, but that would be more like Spine Splitter, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but I never use Warhammers, you know what? Yeah, his head dropped down to 53 during that little fireworks display. There's a lot more stutter. For the most part, I'm like 54. And it's ticking up to 57, but then it's like, I mean, occasionally it'll tick back up to 60. Well, all things considered, it's not too bad, but I still think I'm gonna, tweak the grass that I'm in grass size back up again. Oh, and I done got myself lost again. And there's nothing but wild animals around. Right between the eyes. See? Told you. Hey man, let's get a look. Spin around, damn it. See that? Between the eyes. Yeah, like big deal, right? Like who can't do that? Well, I think I'm gonna have to... Yeah, I'm gonna have to knock that back down. Or actually, bump the number up, I should say. Because there's a significantly... There's a lot more stutter now than what I had at 45. Damn it. I had a good ass shot and you moved. Oh, it's holding 60 solid right now. 55, 52, 55. I mean, I don't have to have it at 60, but it sure looks nicer. I hate the stuttering that happens. If it's just brief and, you know, maybe it'll drop to 57 and bounce right back to 60, it's not a big deal at all. But throughout here, it's been hanging in the mid-50s. Occasionally it climbs up to 60. Sometimes it'll drop down to 50, 51. Well, you get out of the forest, though, and it's staying pretty much at 60 all the time. Move faster. You don't have to be fast. You just have to be faster than me. Let's see. Somewhere up around this bend, I think, is where the rain will stop. Right about now. Oh, a little later than I thought. This area still looks pretty nice. Wow, 51. Somebody up here is throwing down magic. What's a Thalmor? We'll help take care of them. Stupid Thalmor. That one was a no-brainer. Wow. This is a big one. Who's the dude in the horse that's just sitting there? Whoops. I'm just wasting everybody. Now nobody lives to tell the tale. Wow, what a mess, huh? It's a hunter. I'm not getting involved in that. Alright, I think we're done here. Let me move up the road here a little bit more and catch some of this gorgeous scenery. Alright, I think we are just about done here. I'm definitely going to have to tweak that. I think the next test video is going to be with Dindalod. Because we're just about done with adding mods. I may try JK Skyrim. I got to look into that a little bit more, see the details on it, make sure that it doesn't interfere with Immersive Citizens, because that is a must-have mod. That's the best way I've found for to keep vendors alive. And I do like to make money, and I need vendors to do that. Those should go out, I think. I still see a little bit of like a bluish haze in the tops of the trees. Oh, maybe that's why. Okay, I think that's where we're gonna wrap this one up. So, hopefully we'll get Dindalod in and get all our LODs, and then that's gonna do it. So I will see you in the next video.